The moon that forgot to set over Willow Lake. On a very quiet night, in a small, peaceful town called Willow Lake, everything was ready for sleep. The houses were warm and still, the streets were empty, and the trees stood gently under the stars. Even the wind was moving slowly, like it didn't want to wake anyone up. But tonight, something in the sky was not ready to sleep. High above Willow Lake, the moon was still awake. Not setting, not fading, just staying there. Bright, round, and strangely still, as if it had forgotten something very important. Down below, the world waited for night to finish its song, but the moon did not move. In a small bedroom near the lake, a little girl named Lila opened her eyes. She was not supposed to be awake, but something felt different tonight. She walked softly to her window, pulled the curtain slightly, and looked up. The moon was still there, too bright. And tonight, it felt unusual. Lila placed her hands on the window glass. Outside, everything looked normal, but it didn't feel normal. The stars shimmered gently, but they seemed to be waiting for the moon to do its job. But the moon was not moving. A soft wind passed through the trees near Willow Lake. It sounded like a whisper, like a secret, as if the night itself was trying to speak. Lila listened carefully, and for a moment, she felt the wind was calling her. Down by the lake, something strange began to happen. The surface of Willow Lake started to glow. Soft blue light, gentle and slow, like breathing water. The lake was awake. A tiny floating light rose from the water, small, warm, like a firefly made of dreams. It floated upward slowly, not afraid, not rushing, just rising. And somehow, Lila understood. The moon had forgotten its duty. It had forgotten how to set, how to guide the night, how to help the world sleep. And now, the sky was waiting for help. Lila held her blanket tightly and whispered, "I think I can help." Her voice was small, but the night heard her. The lake shimmered again. This time, it formed a glowing path across the water. Lila stepped outside. She walked toward the lake, and when her foot touched the glowing surface, it didn't sink. It held her. She took another step, then another, until she reached the glowing path. Above her, the sky felt closer, like it was leaning down, watching her. Then, from the glowing path, floating stairs of light appeared, one by one, rising into the sky. Lila stepped onto them. Each step felt soft, like walking on clouds that remembered her name. She climbed slowly, carefully, until she reached something impossible. Inside the sky, there was a garden. Inside the moon, silver flowers, glowing vines, floating petals of light. But something was wrong. Everything felt tired. Scattered across the garden were broken crystals of sleep. Their light was weak, fading, scattered like forgotten dreams. Lila knelt down and gently touched one. It warmed under her fingers, and slowly it began to glow again, soft, steady, peaceful. High above, the moon began to change. It was remembering. A gentle song spread through the sky. Soft, warm, like a blanket of sound. The stars began to move again, slowly returning to their places. The sky was becoming whole. Far below, Willow Lake grew quiet again. The wind slowed. The water calmed. The world began to sleep once more. Lila stood in the moon garden and smiled, because she knew the night was healing. A warm golden light wrapped around her, like a silent thank you from the moon. Then, slowly, the light stairs faded, and Lila was back in her bed, her blanket soft around her, the window glowing gently. Outside, Willow Lake was quiet again. The moon now rested properly in the sky. Everything felt normal, but also more peaceful than before. The wind no longer whispered secrets. It only breathed gently. Lila closed her eyes. She took a slow breath in and out, feeling safe, warm, and sleepy. A tiny glow flickered outside her window one last time. High above, The moon finally slept too, and in the softest whisper of the night, everything said good night, and the world drifted into sleep.
And so, the moon watched over Willow Lake, bringing a gentle end to the day. Good night.